Am I live? I'm live. Sound check. Got the green bars. Get my phone ringer off. Hi, everybody. How's everybody today? What is today? Friday? Yes, it's Friday. I had no idea I was going to be going live today, but I just got some news about an hour ago, maybe a couple hours ago. Ron Paul just had a stroke. And I don't know how many of you know who Ron Paul is. He was a 3 or 4 term congressman here in Texas, lives in Lake Jackson. He ran for president in 1988 on the Libertarian Party platform. He ran again in 2008 and then again in 2012. And he came in 3rd place, only got knocked out by Boehner, unfortunately. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the technical stuff, but Ron Paul is the most influential man in my entire life, far more than even my own father. My own father pretty much taught me what I didn't want to be when I grew up, how I didn't want to raise my kids. But Ron Paul was, I've only known about him since about 2009, and I started watching Ron Paul's videos, and he was just different than everybody else. I was raised, admittedly, Republican, Baptist, Christian, and the mainstream always discounted him, and so I discounted him because I was a blind idiot. But to now, I've seen pretty much every Ron Paul major speech he's ever given on pretty much on YouTube. I've been to 3 or 4 of his live events. I went to the Tampa, Florida for the RNC in 2012. And he literally changed my life. I would dare say the Parker video probably never would have happened had it not been for the influence of Dr. Ron Paul. And yes, he is a real doctor. He was an OBGYN. He was a doctor in the Air Force, I believe, back in the 60s. And he had his own private practice. He delivered over 3,000 babies. He is a devout Christian. And when I say that, I'm not trying to scare some of you off. I know a lot of people who follow me are Christians, and a lot of people are not. But I used to be. I no longer am, but that's irrelevant. This man, his faith is unbelievable. He really is a caring man. And admittedly, before 2009, 2007, I regret this, but I did spank my kids a couple or 3 times. Never London, never Hayden. A couple times Blaine and a couple times Parker. But once I started studying the message of Dr. Ron Paul, his message of non-interventionism, his message of basically voluntarism, and all voluntarism is pretty much the golden rule, like the Bible talks, the Christian Bible talks about. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You can translate that to thou shalt not initiate aggression, initiate force against other human beings, thy fellow carbon-based life form humans. And that made sense to me. And I started thinking about my parenting style at the time when all my kids were little and they're in those formative years. And his message of totally against these foreign wars, totally against the drug wars. It had a huge impact on my life and how I viewed parenting. And so I made it really clear, probably in 2009, that I will never, ever, under any circumstances, ever spank my children. And I didn't after that. I regret and I admit that I did at one time. I was stupid. I was ignorant. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought, well, I got my ass beat and I turned out fine. Well, no, I started beating my kid's ass, so apparently I didn't turn out too fine. Arguably, a lot of people say I'm batshit crazy anyways, but that's okay. But when I got the news today, I was out in my barn, and I was working on my lawnmower. I bought a used lawnmower, and the deck rusted out, and it all fell, it rusted, it just completely caved in. So I saved my money. I got my check or my pay. I got paid this week. So I found a new deck for $100 and I was installing it. My friend Tony sent me this video. And since I was too far away from my internet connection, I said, hey, I'll watch it in a minute. So about 30 minutes later, I finally made it inside and I watched it and my jaw dropped. Dr. Paul does a weekly, maybe I don't think he does it every day. It's called the Liberty Report, where he just talks about the current events and his idea of non-interventionism and the message of self-ownership, his opinions on the current issues. And he was talking to the guy that was interviewing him, and he started having this stroke, and his speech was like you could see his mouth falling down. He couldn't finish it, and the interviewer's like, Dr. Paul, and oh, it was just a basket case, or an absolute basket case. There's a reason I have this tattoo right here. We call it the Levolution. It's the revolution. This was Dr. Paul's. This was basically his logo. Some of y'all might have seen, what's his name? What's that comedian's name? I can't think of his name. Long-haired, shaggy British guy. He tried to rip it off, but that never was his. This was the Ron Paul campaign deal, and I'm not the type of person that like oohs and ahs over celebrities. I really couldn't care less. Kim Kardashian, any president, they just don't matter to me. But this guy is different. And that's why I'm not embarrassed to have something like this or wear a shirt like this. I bought this in 2012 in, I think I got it in Tampa while I was in Tampa at the RNC. But Russell Brand, that's the guy. He tried to and I like Russell on a lot of things. He's kind of a tool when he tried to claim this and patent it or whatever, or trademark it as his own, because it was so ridiculous. Because Ron Paul people have been using this for years. And anyway, I'm not going to get too much into politics, but Tony sent me that, and I told her I'd go watch it in a minute, and I watched it, and I've just been a basket case of emotions. At first, all I heard was he had a stroke, and then I saw that he had a stroke, and so I'm freaking out. And then all of a sudden, people are posting his Twitter feed. He's in the hospital. He's giving a thumbs up. I posted it in the community section of my channel, and they said he's doing okay. The man's like 83 or 84 now, and back then in 2012, he was in his early 70s or mid 70s, and he was in better shape than anybody on the stage. There was this rolling joke where, he's always riding his bicycle. In fact, the closest I ever got to, other than seeing Ron Paul in person, a buddy of mine named Rob Pepe. Rob, if y'all ever saw the Parker t-shirts where Parker's sitting on the motorcycle and he's smiling, and it's on a shirt, but it's not a picture, it's like a silhouette of him. Rob is the guy who actually made those for me back then when the Parker stuff was happening. Well, Rob had made a Facebook post about Ron Paul something. I don't remember what it was. Well, I made a joke, just a comment on a joke about, Ron Paul being the old man. Well, what I didn't realize is Rob and Ron Paul's wife are actually real life friends. And so Carol Paul responded to me something to the effect of, I'm not sure how the old man would react to such a comment. And I looked and I said, oh my God, that's Carol Paul. And I said, Mrs. Paul, I'm just kidding. I swear to God, I said that out of love. I swear I said it out of love. Where I'm from in West Texas, when we say, the old man, that's a term of endearment. And she writes back something like, oh, honey, I know. I'm just pulling your chain, or I'm just teasing you. He would just laugh about it. And I said, I cannot believe I just got punked by Carol Paul. And she said, well, I said, I would love to meet him. She said, well, if you ever want to meet him, he rides his bicycle. We live in Lake Jackson. He rides it out all the time. You'd probably catch him out there riding someday. And I was just like, oh my God. So of course, me being the dork that I am, I screenshotted it, made this big to-do about it. Oh my God, Carol Paul. Again, I'm normally not a person to do that with celebrities because I really don't care. But in this case, it's different because Ron Paul changed my life. Again, I'm not sure the Parker movie or any of my activism would even exist. Any of the videos would even exist if it wasn't for the influence of Dr. Ron Paul. So anyway, I want to give my 2 cents, my little history, my little, he's fine. He's not dead. Knock on wood. I thought he was, because the first thing you hear when someone in their 80s has a stroke is, oh shit, it's lights out, it's curtains. And that was the first thing that went through my mind, and I panicked. But anyway, if you look on the community section, and it's all over my Facebook, and my 95% of my entire news feed on Facebook is because I've got so many fellow Ron Paul friends. Is Ron Paul this, Ron Paul that? You can see he's got a picture, he's smiling. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what that is, no, I didn't get in a fight with the cat, and I don't even have a girlfriend, so she didn't punch me. I cut myself shaving. I just now noticed that. It's not a booger either. So anyway, oh, there's Tammy. I know Tammy knows who Dr. Paul is. Anyways, y'all can't laugh at me. I went and got a new set of glasses that doesn't come with a free scratch. So I can actually see some of the comments here. Oh, I hate having to get this close. It's perfectly focused there, but here it's not. But I feel like such a moron having to get so close. Will, the animator Caleb, I got to say, I'm 13 and a half, and you're my idol for parenting. Well, thank you. That means a lot. Who had a stroke? Tyler Hill. His name is Dr. Ron Paul. And for any of those that missed the beginning, I know how lives are. Not everybody catch on at the beginning. So when I'm done here, within about 15 or 20 minutes, the entire video will be up on my channel. Man, look at all this. I just got hairs running everywhere. Tyler Hill, no, Ron Paul had a stroke on live. Shannon Jackson, yes, Ron Paul had a stroke on live TV on doing his, it's called the Liberty Report. Monty Donovan, hope you're doing good. I am. Oh, speaking of, I've got maybe a little bit of finally good news for me. Guess what yours truly is about to do starting Monday at 8:30 in the morning of next week. I signed up for sailing classes. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to sailing school, and I'm going to learn how to sail the ocean blue. I'm going to be out in the Gulf of Mexico. I just had her. I'm in Conroe. I'm going to be down in Clear Lake. I bet you Clear Lake's not even an hour from Lake Jackson. I might just go see Dr. Paul and see if I can get in there. If he's out of the hospital, go hug his neck or something, or I don't know. That just dawned on me. I've got sailing class all week, Monday through Friday of next week, and I'm going to be about an hour from I might just go. Maybe I'll do a live from the sailboat, and then maybe I'll do another live down in Lake Jackson. I've always wanted to get an interview with Dr. Paul. I mean, there's really not anything I could really think of that to ask him that I don't already know the answer to, because I've really watched this man that many times, that much. Farrah says, I'm jealous. Jealous of what? Yeah, Caleb the Pirate. I bet. Hey, I've waited a long, long time for this to finally go sailing. Wish you and your important person luck. My important person? Um, oh, I assume you're talking about Dr. Paul. I don't know what that meant, but no, I'm not going fishing per se. I'll eventually, when I can save my money and get my own sailboat, I most certainly will go fishing. But for right now, I'm just learning how to sail, because there's a lot to it. It's not just like getting in a car and just hopping in and going. You got to know what you're doing. Magical glitches. Congrats, bro. Thank you very much. Mac Miranda says hi. Bob Saget. What's Bob Saget doing? It's weird hearing from the presidents and SpongeBob and then now Bob Saget. Miss Becca, are you a sailor too? Pressure Bresh, hello. So anyway, yeah. So I don't know what it. I don't have no idea if I'm going to have internet service there. I don't know if I can go live from the boat. I do know that I'm taking sailing ASA, American Sailing Association, 101, 103, and 104. For whatever reason, there's no such thing as ASA 102. I don't know why, but there's not. But I'm going to be certified where I can charter a 32 to 50 foot sailboat and then go solo. And part of my tuition to do my sailing class is when I'm done, I do get to go out in one of their 32 footers and go solo. So maybe I'll just get out there in the middle of the Gulf and just go live if there's any, or if there's decent amount of service. I think that'd be fun, really fun. Be out in the middle of the ocean and just smell the ocean water and hear the breeze. Farrah not tying. I'm assuming you're talking about literally tying knots, like as in ropes. I'm totally down to do that. But the other kind of tie the knot, I'll tie that knot around my neck before I do that again. Dude, you live by the ocean, and all I gotta say is you're gonna smell some nasty stuff. Well, that's the ocean, man. Joshua, I'm not going to talk about that, man. That's just completely inappropriate. I don't even know why y'all would think that I would bring that up and talk about that. So, anyways, well, this isn't going to be very long. I'm not going to go the entire hour, but I had to get this off my chest because I knew this day was coming. Dr. Paul's going to get sick. I knew this day is coming. So the day is coming. He will die, and I will go into a deep, deep mourning because he's been that influential. And if y'all have watched my channel anything other than, just the main videos, I obviously don't like politicians for the most part any more than I like cops for the most part. But every now and then, some rare gems, some rare jewels like Dr. Paul come along, kind of like in the Parker movie. These rare rookie cops, Officer Brandon Spinks and Officer Rocha of the Odessa Police Department, bless their hearts. They just came at the perfect time, and they're professional, and they're peace officers, and they're very, very, very much appreciated. Ron Paul's just one of those rare politicians that I actually give a crap about, because I don't give a crap about Republicans, and I don't give a crap about Democrats, and I mostly don't even give a crap about Libertarian for the most part, because even they can get very, very, very sidetracked and crooked. But BGM, Caleb inspired all of us. He's a good YouTuber. Well, thank you very much. I can't tell if it's easier to read with the glasses or without my glasses. I will keep you in my prayers. I hope everything will get better with this. God will help us through this. We love you. From Lee Williams. Leah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, it sucks, but it's a circle of life. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to me. It's gonna happen to us all. But anyways, well, kids, I don't really have much else to. I don't know. I don't know if y'all want to keep talking or just me keep running my mouth. My channel is doing really well. Again, the message of defending yourself and standing up for yourself and putting your phone in the faces of assholes that are mistreating you and or your children is catching on. I have been reading now that my comment sections have been turned back on, I have been reading quite a few of the comments. If you're going to get personal on things, even if I happen to agree with you, I'm obviously not going to reply or talk about it. I do appreciate the creativity that people have, and particularly I like the positive comments. Anybody can find negative in things, and of all people, I'm guilty of that myself. I catch myself sometimes concentrating on negative stuff when I know I shouldn't, and so I really appreciate positive comments. And if you do have to be negative, address the negativity towards me and me only. Or Ken Paxton. Yeah, y'all can all completely shit talk Ken Paxton. That's okay too. If you're gonna, if you just got to do some shit talking and you're tired of Miss Becca bleeping you, Miss Becca will not bleep anybody out who talks massive shit in the comment section, whether it's live or whether it's the comment section once it goes on my YouTube channel. Feel free to talk massive shit about the deadbeat douchebag Attorney General of Texas, Mr. Ken Paxton, who's just he's trying not to get too negative and trying not to get, but that guy's going down, y'all. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's catching on. Hashtag Paxton for prison is definitely catching on. Like I said, he only won re-election by a measly and embarrassing 2%. And I've still not got my status updated. I still am technically labeled as a deadbeat dad in the state of Texas by the Attorney General's office, the douchebag Ken Paxton, because he will not update my file. And that's one thing I was going to bring up. I've been reading the comment section particularly a lot on the last few lives that I've done, like particularly one that I titled, I, in air quotes, or I owe $50,000 in back child support. So many people simply read the title and obviously don't watch what I talk about in the video. I don't legally owe the effing child support. We went to mediation. Back child support is gone. Future child support is gone. It's a wash as of 3 years ago in October. I don't owe it. That's entirely the point of putting the word owe in quotes. I'm surprised that the haters that I do have can't see that. I'm like, the title is being facetious. I'm dead serious that they say I owe it, but I don't owe it. Oh, it's beyond me. See, ISO, that's one plea, whatever your name is, that's just something I'm not going to talk about. That's just inappropriate. I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe you just got on and you didn't hear what I just got through saying, but I'm not going to trash talk people other than Ken Paxton. That and sorry, and if you don't like it, and if that makes you mad, I don't know what to tell you, because I assume there will always be the House Parker crowd. I know. I'm glad the video is catching on and more people are getting confidence and learning how to record properly. And if you hadn't heard me talk about it, I've made lives about it on how to do it. I'm really glad, but it's so nice to be just really nice if people would just, it's not hard. My channel's right there, all the updates, everything about how the kids are, whatever I have to say about my kids, I've already said about it, and anything that I haven't said, I'm not talking about it. And that's just me having a private life and my children having a private life. So anyways, that's that. So how's it going? Just want to say hello and thank you for being a great person, from Purdy Moses. Well, thank you. Well, the animator, if I didn't live in my city, I would jump through my screen and give you a hug, man. You're like an uncle to me. That's nice. Thank you. You deserve so much flippin' love. We love you. Please don't be sad anytime soon. Well, I'm not sad. I was shocked. I was just an emotional shit show a couple hours ago when I got the news about Dr. Paul. But now that I know he's okay, you know, he gave the big thumbs up he's got a big shit-eating grin there in the hospital, and I was really happy about that. So I mean, I'm fine. It's just I don't have heroes, but if I did, he'd be the only one I've got. And when you find out your heroes got sick and was close to death, having a stroke, it sucks the breath out of you. Caroline Torsvik, who? Dr. Ron Paul. I'm binge watching The Zoo on Netflix. Becca, I have no clue what that is. Hey, I have an idea. Who are you? I have no idea who you are, but this video showed up, and it's nice to see you care about people. Sounds like you're an amazing guy. From Isaac Lloyd. Well, thank you, Isaac. I assume you watched the Parker video, I guess. A lot of people, that's all they do is watch the 14-year-old boy stands up. That's me holding the camera. That's my son. So I guess you must have subscribed to it a long time ago. That or one of your siblings or kids or whatever, they subscribed to it while you weren't watching. And maybe that's how it is. But yeah, I do care about people. I get irritated with people in general, but especially ones that harm my family and my friends. Did you watch The Tiger King? Yeah, twice. You talk about the perfect icon shit show for 2020 was Tiger King. And the sad thing is that poor guy, I know a lot of people say he deserves it, but if he deserves prison, then Carol does too. I think Carol way more than him. What the hell is Tiger King? Dude, just look it up. There's no way to describe it. It didn't do it any kind of justice. You just have to go watch Tiger King. It is a shit show deluxe. The only thing America can agree on is Carol killing her husband. Yep. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, atheist, Republican, Democrat, black, white, lesbian, straight, trans. It doesn't matter what you are. Everybody knows Carol killed her husband. Everybody just knows it. The producers know it. The producers, they totally, when the shit show hit the proverbial fan, I heard the producers had to move to Europe. They just want to totally forget. It's so awful. You cannot take your eyes off the train wreck. It's so awful, but the producers are like, I don't care if people want a part 2. We're not doing this. And then somebody found their address and started the paparazzi or whatever and started, stalking them and posting. And they're like, oh my God, we're never getting away from this. It's great. I loved it. It's hilarious. That guy, what's Tiger King's name? Becca, help me out. My mind just went blank. I mean, he goes by Tiger King, but his name's Joe Exotic. Caleb, do you hate the American school system? Yes, with a passion. Just about as much, yeah, Joe Exotic, just about as much as I cannot stand the family court system. There are some wonderful, many wonderful teachers within the school system. I'm personal friends with many of them. For those of you that watched the Parker movie, when the name Samantha is brought up, that is my second ex-wife. She got Teacher of the Year. If you hear a few years back, they're and we're friends. And even her mother got Teacher of the Year. So I've got some really good friends that are teachers within the American public school system. Ask any teacher they'll all say it's just the bureaucracy, the red tape is just atrocious. Caleb, all right, fill in the blank, which comes to your head, man. I suspended in school by, not sure what you mean. Mac Miranda, there is this YouTube channel called Film Theory. His name is Matt Pat and gives real world evidence that Carol killed her husband. I'm not surprised. Yeah, Joe Exotic. RS Pure Caleb, are there any lessons you learn from life you can share with us? Thank you. Yes, there are. Do not get married, but if you do, do not get married young. If you do get married, you don't have to necessarily do it legally. If you love a person, you don't have a small ceremony, even a big ceremony. Just make sure you are compatible with each other. Make sure this you are on the same page. If you followed me and you've decided I'm not going to spank my children ever for whatever reason whatsoever, and your soon-to-be spouse or soon-to-be father or mother of your children says, "Well, hell yeah, I'm gonna spank this kid. I'm beating the shit out of him." Newsflash: y'all aren't going to get along. So yeah, don't do that. In fact, yeah, if you don't want to have kids the rest of your life, I don't care what anyone says, you do not have to have kids to live a perfectly happy life. I know lots and lots of adults, some slightly younger, some even older, some my age, that don't have kids and they're as happy as they can be. Don't think just because your parents had a shitload of kids, as did your grandparents, that you've got to follow in those same footsteps, because I'm here to tell you, you don't. Life's tough, life's hard. You compound it infinitely, especially from what I can tell in the U.S. going through the U.S. family court system. It's dangerous. Hey man, I was going to hang out with my friends. See you next live stream. Stay safe, William. Okay, thanks, Will. Yep. This she's whopping Will and y'all getting out of line. Any other lessons? If you ever get pulled over by the police, just grab your phone, less than 5 seconds, go to the camera app, make sure it's horizontal. You don't have to just blare it in their face. It's going to be a little awkward at first, especially the first 2 or 3 times you do it. You get pulled over by the police, push record. Personally, when I do it, like I'll go to record and I'll turn it like this. I'll push record where it's this way, where and that way I put it down on my lap. And so if they make me get out, I can pick it up and it'll automatically be pointing the right direction. And that way I can see my own screen and keep it on the officer for their safety and for mine. Always film the police in all interactions. I'm not saying every cop is always going to be a prick. Here lately, I've actually seen a couple of really cool cops here. I was doing 55 and a 50. A cop passed me going 60 in a 50. I thought, okay, well, I'm speeding, he's speeding. Someone came up behind him, went around me, and then passed the cop going about 65, and the cop flicked his lights on. I'm like, what a moron. I mean, I don't think that highly of cops in the first place, but I'm not going to do something that stupid. But the guy started to pull over, and then the cop just turned his lights off and got back and kept doing 60. Like, it was just kind of, a cop actually being a decent person. There wasn't a lot of people out. It was 4-lane traffic. They're everyone speeds a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Cops like, it's no big deal, but come on, you don't have to do 80 or 90 or 100 in a 50. So I thought that was pretty cool. Please keep comments on subject. The kids will not be discussed in the live stream. Listen to Miss Mary's here. Miss Mary, I know, is hardcore Ron Paul. Miss Mary, I don't even have to explain to you how we all feel about that. But he's doing better according to his Twitter. Sharon Holloway, hello from Australia. Sharon, I remember you. I think. Yeah, I remember you. I know I remember your name, yes. How is Australia? I saw that Australia got snow. And it's so weird. Y'all snow comes from the south. That's like snow for us coming up through Mexico. It just never happens. Carlos Renega, hello. Matt Miranda, agreeable. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Yes, Miss Mary knows who I'm talking about. I guess there's 4 seasons in one day. Oh, yeah, 4 seasons in one day. I think there's looks like a 15 to 20-second delay. That was weird. I've never in any movie or anything. I've never imagined. That's like imagining it snowing in the Sahara Desert. I just never heard. And then I did some research, not research, but I read up on it. And apparently, it snows in Australia about it once every 2 to 3 years. But it's actually, from what I read, snowed twice in 2020. So how was your day? Again, everything go well? Yeah, I'm doing good. Leah Williams had to get braces again. Leah, did you set your retainer in the sun like I did 25 years, 30 years ago? Let it melt, and then my teeth got all effed up. Caleb, the American school system is a factory for making bad people, and I got bullied in school for being different. All of those kids in that hellhole of a school deserve to go to juvenile detention. Well, that's from White Cunard Starline. I can certainly see where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be bullies everywhere, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. I pulled blame out of public school like just a few months after I got him. Or no, I take it. He almost he was in 14, so he's in the 8th grade, I believe. He made it almost to the end, but I just yanked him out. I couldn't stand it. Abby from Wii Sports. When I had a retainer, I forgot to wear it, so my teeth got messed up, and so I had to get braces again. Also, yeah, you'll see that gap. That's exactly what that's from. Oh, I got major hate last time. Yeah, yeah, Becca, we talked about that. Uh, if you can tell it's someone that's just the first time, then don't go too hard on them. It's the people that put in retarded stuff. Rest in peace, Parker. Rest in peace, Parker. Rest in peace, like over and over and over and over. Those are all I want to get rid of. That's why I had to. Okay. I gotta go. If you ever go to Arizona, visit Sedona. Okay. I've been to Arizona. Not a long, long time, but I've been there. Well, kids, we're at 38:58, so 39 minutes. And after working on my tractor out there, my back's hurting. I'm probably going to take a nap. So, Miss Mary, Miss Becca, thank y'all for moderating. This wasn't anything major. Oh, Miss Mary, I don't know when you came on, but guess who's going to sailing school next weekend? This guy. So I'm really excited. I'm going to try to go live from the water if I can. I'm not sure I have internet connection, but I'm really going to try to. Haxie, see you, Caleb. I'm in high school, and I'm lucky that I have good parents. Good, you are lucky. Very nice. All the best to you and the kids. Sharon Holloway, Wyatt, hello. I went to partridge hunting and got 7. Wish me luck to get more from Larry. Okay, well, happy hunting with your partridges in a pear tree. That's the only thing I know about a partridge. It's some kind of bird. All right, kids. Thanks, everybody. I do appreciate y'all coming in, and take care, and I'll see y'all here in a few days.